Virgo, to save some time, I already shuffled the cards and laid them out. I'm using a Celtic 10 card spread that allows me to look at past, present, and future influences to the month. And we've got a kind of funky magunky month. All right, let's just get into it because it's a really good end conclusion. But I kind of need to get your thoughts in balance and the power that you have within yourself to believe in yourself, to reinforce that self esteem and that self confidence and that self love as well, and to believe in your abilities to make anything happen. Let's get into why I'm saying this, okay? That first card placement is the significator, the emperor, all right? He's a major arcana and he's the boss, right? He's about business, legalities, contracts. In the exalted state, he could be a really good leader, a mentor, kind and compassionate, fair and just, right? Always seeking out the truth to make decision making. But in the non-exalted state, he could be bullish and aggressive and kind of pushy to kind of get his way or the highway attitude, right? And I think that's more the case here because what's interesting in the second card placement is the devil. So we have another major arcana card. And because this guy deals with business and this is blocking that ability for you to exceed your ability in business, right? To you to do what you feel is right, because that's at play here as well, okay, in the business world. Like you might be looking at someone as the devil. All right. Hopefully it's not you're the business leader and people are looking at you as a devil. But I don't think that's really the reflection here because I can see in the seventh card placement, I'm jumping around a little bit, Virgo here, which is about ourselves, how we're feeling about ourselves, right? So the Knight of Wands is that kind of courageous, adventurous energy to create. Okay. So there's something stirring within you. And what's nice about the Knight in my deck is you've already got some props about you. So you have a firm foundation of work experience and knowledge, and more importantly, your integrity, your ethics, and your character, which would be a reflection of the Emperor too, as well, like kind of in the exalted state, having that really good outlook and being really honest and truthful and kind of expecting it from others. So that may be the push here from the devil. All right, you're not getting your props, or you're getting someone that might be outright shady and lying, as well as pushy and aggressive, and it's pushing you to think about new things that you want to do for yourself, especially in the area of business. All right, or maybe I'll even say this: the Emperor could definitely appear as a lover. It doesn't matter the gender or a family member or whatever. But the same thing is applied here. Wherever that fresh energy is kind of stirring in you to create something new for yourself, that's the whole overall reading for July. All right. And I'm going to reaffirm this in the third card placement is the kind of God's answer on how to navigate the week. And it's the King of Swords. And that's kind of your domain, Virgo, because you rule thoughts in astrology and tarot, right? And the King is the exalted state in that thought process of how we learn how to use our thoughts, how we are as people with that character and that ethics and, integrity. But also, too, for the ancient tarot, it took it even further. It was about your identity of how you want to stand up for yourself, how you want to live your life, who you want to love, how you want to work, all those kinds of things. And that's where I think the clash is. I think that you know better than this person that might be the emperor, right? And I think you just need to, well, not I think, I know you need to trust you here, okay? Even if someone's getting pushy, I think it's getting pushy for you in God's way of saying, what do you want to do next, Virgo, on your terms? So I don't want you to be afraid here, especially with regards to money, because we're going to get that as well here as well, okay? And that's what I think is building up that little bit of insecurity or allowing the emperor to take advantage of you. Let's say I'm just going to pop around now. So here it is in the outcome card, the King of Pentacles. As an earth sign you rule the pentacles in the material world, and the king deals with money. In my deck, he's King Midas, who's only concerned about money. He doesn't want to have the heart in there. He gets a really tight pinch of a pocketbook about his attitude and his heart and his spirit. And there is definitely a literally pinching of the pocketbook as well, too, because that's all God's way of saying, I want you to break that stranglehold of the materials to figure out what is the creative for you that you could do with your heart. And you need to trust yourself in that King of Swords, that you have the ability to make new business or legalities or contracts or just anything in that area that to bring the next level for yourself. That's here and possible, okay? And it's stirring because in the fourth card placement in the gut, I got the Page of Wands here. And this guy just wants to take off like the Knight. So we have two energies that just let me fly. Let me create. Let me have my inspiration and my imagination tickle my heart again. Let me do my own thing potentially too. These are entrepreneurial kind of cards, right? Even if it's just looking for a new job, you're the entrepreneur because it's you that you're selling out there, right? So don't be afraid of it, because this is the creative energy and live coming in you, and it's there to help you. All right. And I know you know this as well, because in the fifth card placement, it's a past reflection. So we have the Queen of Pentacles. That's you as well here. Okay. The Pentacles are your domain. Where the king is really cheesy McGeezy and he's only focused on the material. And I'll tell you this, when he does show up in a reading, he's to remind us that we don't need to be focused on the material. We're kind of overthinking it, and we're building up an anxiety and fear that's only going to squash any creativity. And we're not meant to play there in that area as well, because it has no purpose. And this guy has no purpose other than to remind you to let go of that kind of thinking in your heart and your head, because it's just going to kill everything. All right. And it slowly will kill you, just that kind of attitude. And the queen validates this in the past reflection in that fifth card placement. And that queen is the royal regal leader in the area of the material, right? She's completely unlike the king. She's giving, she's loving, she's tough love in a way too. She's a good mentor, she's a good leader. She's like the emperor in the exalted state. Everyone turns to her. She's food and she's drink and she's health and mindset. The gold coin all falls under her domain as well. She's an earth sign because she's the pentacles. And that's you, and that's what's been leading your life. So that's been stirring, like, hey, I can make something happen over here, or I can make something creative happen over there, or I should test out this just to see. All right, so believe in the queen. She wants to work with your emperor and in the exalted state, and definitely overpower this devilish kind of feeling too. Okay. All right, and I'll also say this, just because the emperor's on top of the devil here, the devil also deals with addiction, mental health issues, and those kinds of things. So if you have somebody that has the combination, or if you're the emperor and dealing with someone like that, you know, maybe new surroundings of how to get someone help, but also to be protective of yourself so you don't get, you know, into the non-exalted state of the drama of the devil that could be, right? And maybe a lot of these different things that, like, you know, that hard, tough stuff that's happening with this combo of these two major arcana cards, because in the present, we have the moon, which is another major arcana card. She's a past reflection card. So it means that she's done with your life lessons, but to get to the moon, to get to this point, to get to her, it's been really tough. I mean, and it's like you feel like you're drowning at times. You're unsure of next footing. Where is the next direction for you and your ideas? You know, so, and maybe also dealing with all this kind of aggressiveness and bulliness and people trying to push you around, you know, because also too, the moon leaves us a little vulnerable because it's that shadow land. But when she appears for me in a reading, like I said, she's a past reflection. So she's rebirthed you. For what purpose? I think it's to do you, you know, whatever that area is of the creative imagination that's stirring in you, Virgo. She wants to give you a big reward. She's a karma card to me, because you only get to her by having taken the walk and talking the talk with her, okay? And now she's giving you that new life. So let's see, like I said, in that seventh placement is how you're feeling itself. You're ready to kick it off along with his brother over here in the page. And we get a spring in our step. Like, excitement starts to come back along with that imagination, inspiration. And that's a real key for a Virgo. If you're not excited about what you're doing in any aspect of your life, or you feel like there's potential for you, for respect especially, you know, that's not going to wash for you for very long. So I think that's this breaking point here. That's God just saying, you know, nudging you along, maybe in a big way, to say, what do you really want to do, Virgo? You can make anything happen. That's your magic. And other people look at you as like that too. And the eighth card placement is how other people view you. So we got a duality here in the queen. When I see the king here on one shoulder of you talking to you in Virgo, and then if I see the queen, even though it's other people view you, it means it's happening to you. Like, they're two of the toughest, non-really good cards at all. He's cheesy and chintzy and cheap, and she's like the bitch of the tarot, because great for legalities, contracts, and business. So that would be another affirmation of the king, that people look at you as someone that could be thorough and execute ideas to their full potential. It also could keep an emotional distance. We won't get drama-esque in the area of anything that we need to accomplish stuff, right? But in the non-exalted state, the queen, especially for ourselves, and again, swords are ruled by Virgo, we could take that sword and aim it at our heart and our head, and we're pouring away emotion. I don't want emotion, right? So we could be a little snippy, angry, aggressive, all the things that the emperor might be doing to us, we might be doing to other people. So make sure that's not happening anywhere, and just get to the exalted state. But I'll also say a clue here. That's why God's probably put the king here, Throughout the whole journey of the swords, I only want to use my thoughts. I don't want emotion, right? Because sometimes I just need pure analytical or strategic thinking, right? But the time I reach this guy and the king, I'm asked to use both my head and my heart because I've taken the whole journey of the swords. I've recognized what's important. I've recognized what's fair and just and honest, right? And I could come to a heartfelt decision, but that's also honest and truthful, right? That's the king. He could help in that. And it's sitting over the emperor. So I just got to say that again, if you're encountering someone that's not in a cool area, in the area of character or any of those kind of bullying, aggressive ways, or his way or the highway, just know you have the right way. And you just got to keep that faith in you and don't let that diminish bending to other people, because that might be starting to happen with the King of Pentacles here, right? When we get cheap in our thinking that people are not respecting us, we're going to get cheap everywhere else. And that's why that outcome card is saying next to the king, I want you to focus this guy and not that guy. And this is validated as well in the ninth card placement in our hopes and fears. It's a 9 of cups. It literally means the wish card. So don't be afraid of your wish. Something's stirring in you, and it might not be fully formulated, and you might be a little reluctant to keep, moving forward in some areas, or put the pedal to the metal like the reading is starting to really suggest, to give your oxygen to your ideas and see where they go. But maybe the first step is, Virgo, is just taking a contemplative, meditative state this month and really figuring it out. What is that wish card? Because in such a prominent placement, it's a big deal, because not only is it a big deal to get to the wish card, because like the moon card, you can't get there unless you've been a good egg to get the good karma, right? You've taken up the journey in the area of the heart. That's the 9 in the minor arcana, right? You're almost at the end, and God says, good job, Virgo. What do you want? What reward can I give you? And maybe it's also benefited here, so don't be afraid of it. I'll say that it's our hope and fear, so go with the hope. Don't go with the fear. That's the thing about this reading. It's like there's so much hope and full of opportunity and potential, and wisdom and experience, but then there's those outside influences that are making you kind of like hesitate or doubt yourself or bend yourself to other kind of situations. And I'm saying it's time to do you, no more bending, really, okay? And unless it's part of the bigger plan. All right, I'll say that. And the bonus card is the King of Cups, and I think that's what you want to be. That's the exalted state of Virgo, when it allows just its heart. Because remember, you're the Pentacles, you're going to rule the material world, but we're all meant for spirit, and it's especially so for you. I want to break that material. When the King of Pentacles appears, that's what's happening from God and universe, right? And the King of Cups wants to emerge. He's complete opposite of the King of Pentacles. He's only concerned with spirit. He's only concerned with emotional and spiritual maturity and enlightenment, taking that path to get a deeper connection of ourselves and the community and the universe, right? It's a beautiful card. So I want you to aim for like the King of Swords, the King of Cups, and let's throw the 9 of Cups in there, that wish card, because that's just so beautiful, and it always materializes in such a wonderful way that's so surprising for the recipient, and that recipient is you. So have a really good month. Figure out what that wish is, untangle the king and get rid of the queen, and focus on yourself. Know that you've got the right thing. So figure out how you can move forward in the circumstances and situations you're dealing with, because the plan is definitely inside there. You know it, okay? So have a good month. Oh, and thank you for visiting the channel. If you're so inclined to like and subscribe, that would be awesome. Everyone's been so great and loving. Thank you.